Hi there, Steve Brossman here from Business Online TV. Today I've got Peter Feen from Accountant to Coach. Welcome along, Peter.
Thanks, Steve.
Let's take it right back and you were telling me the story about how and why you became an accountant.
Yeah, well, I worked out that I was actually 11 years old when I decided I wanted to be an accountant. At 11, I had no idea what an accountant did, but my dad was an accountant and he was my hero, and I thought, well, that's what I want to do.
Now that's a similar story to a lot of accountants, I guess. They just follow in their father's or their family's footsteps and go into the family business.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
And from what you've been saying, and the accountants that I know, is they work horrendous hours, virtually work around the clock, don't see their family, and the rewards really aren't there.
That's right. They pay a really big price to run a traditional accounting practice. They work. I used to work up to 70 hours a week running the practice until I realised that there's got to be a better way to do this.
Now, one of the things that we were talking about earlier was the third principle on billing. Can you explain that to me and the people at home?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, well, most accounting practices work on a third of whatever you bill goes in your overheads, a third of whatever you bill goes in wages, and hopefully there's a third left to go to profits.
Oh, hopefully.
Yeah, yeah. But I've worked out how to eliminate most of the overheads and all the wages, and so that virtually everything I bill goes to the bottom line, into the profits.
Now you've taken quite some time to make the transition from a traditional accountant into what you call as a coach or a business coach and mentor. How has that process evolved and how are you helping other coaches?
Okay, it's something that I probably did without realising that's what I was doing, but just by being driven by knowing that there had to be a better way to do it, I went out and found a way to create the income that I needed without having to sacrifice the hours that go into that and without having to sacrifice the family life that you put on hold while you're trying to build a business. And
that's very important. A lot of people put it into a box, work-life balance. But if you're working horrendous hours just to pay the bills, or 2/3 of what you're working for don't go in your pocket, then that takes a major strain. But you were also telling me that while other accountants and traditional accountants were at work, you were teaching all your kids to water ski.
Well, that's right. The beauty of being able to structure my life around the things that I do now. It was great to be able to pick my kids up from school, take them down the river and teach them to water ski in the safety that the river wasn't crowded, and every other accountant, every other guy with a boat was either at his desk or at his place of work, and I was out there teaching my kids to ski.
So you've been able to create, well, let's call it financial freedom, because you're actually now earning more than you were ever before in a traditional accounting business.
That's right.
And you've also been able to create the time freedom and a greater family life. Is that packaged all what you've been able to do?
For sure, yeah. I'm earning close to double what I used to earn, and I'm doing it in half the time it used to take me. So that now I've got, a big week for me is now 35 hours. So I've got
That's a big week.
Yeah. And I resent those weeks.
That's fantastic, but what you've done now is you've been able to chart, blueprint, and systemise everything that you've done to make that transition from working around the clock, less money, no life, into greater financial and family freedom, so that you can help other coaches, help other accountants. That's right?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what you call your accountant to coach process?
That's correct, yes. By creating that blueprint, I've been able to work out go back to effectively looking at what my clients want and what they need, and being able to provide that for them in a timely way so that they get exactly what they need, and I get the stimulation of being able to have an impact on their business. Not just keep score for them, but just get involved and give them exactly what they need when they need it, and it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, you were telling me earlier that you used to process something like 2,000 tax returns a year?
That's right. Our practice used to lodge about 2,000 tax returns. Now I'd be lucky to lodge 100.
That's a major drop in just bookkeeping work.
Yeah,
that's what you'd call it.
That's right. Accountants hate being called the bean counters, but the compliance work is effectively just doing that. It's just keeping score for somebody else. You're not really giving them the value that they deserve as your clients. You're not giving them what they really need to take their business to the next level.
And let's look at the other side of the coin as well, as your clients. The clients that you're now spending more time with, how have they benefited?
Well, they've been able to, some of them have been actually able to move into a more passive role, because I've been able to work with them to show them exactly what they need to make their business standalone and be a real business where they can move on with their lives as well. And one situation is I'm actually coaching probably the 7 top executives in one company, so that I'm now growing the people that are going to step up to the next level to enable the owners to retire or semi-retire or have the lifestyle I've got.
It's fantastic. Now, what we need to do is let those accountants out there that are slaving away and doing all the hard yards find out how they can learn from what you've done. So you have some seminars that are coming up.
That's right. Yep.
And are there a 3-day seminar?
Yeah, a 3-day workshop seminar environment.
Okay. What do you go through in that?
Okay, we actually focus on those accountants, on their practice, how it's structured now, where the clients are that really do need more service, and identify how to connect with them properly so that they know that you've got the goods in order to give them the service that they want and they're looking for. And then we work through creating that skill set to make sure that you can give them what they want,
right,
and that you can create what you want, which is a real lifestyle practice.
Fantastic. So at the end of the 3 days, they'll have the blueprint and the skills to be able to go out and start implementing and make the transition that you've made from basically accountant to coach, double the income and halve the hours and learn water skiing with the kids.
Exactly.
Okay. We will have a link below, but they'll be able to contact you, Peter at accountanttocoach.com.
Yep, that's simple.
We'll have the link down there so they can contact you, find out some more information, and when the workshops are in their area.
That's right. Yep.
Okay, well, have you got the boat and can we go water skiing?
I'm between boats at the moment.
Yeah, you're probably stepping up in boats, I'm sure.
Yeah, but my wife, she's not aware of that yet.
Fantastic. Thanks for coming in. And I do know that there are a lot of accountants out there that I actually personally know should go to the workshop because they are working horrendous hours. Thanks so much for coming in, and we'll see you again real soon. Cheers.
Thanks.